loud and clear, give me a thumbs up so I know that you are here and you are good to go. All right. Thank you, Gerald. Thank you, God's Power. Thank you, Daniel. All right, all right, all right. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here this evening on a very fantastic and beautiful Saturday. If you know anybody that you feel like this session would be really great for them, it could be a colleague that's been telling you, oh, for the longest, I'm looking for international roles. I don't know how to go about it. I'm not also looking to leave Nigeria. I'm not looking to leave Africa in general, but I'm looking to get those type of roles that pay in USD, that pays in Canadian dollars or euros. Tell them this is the session they need to be in. Just send them the link. I'm going to walk you through the process. And right after that, if you have any question at any point, please just put it in the chat. I'm also looking at the chat section and I'll be more than happy to respond to your questions. Okay. All right. So that being said, I would officially like to welcome everyone to today's session. My name is Treasure Akyopo. I lead the team here at Analytics Business, and I'm also an AI projects manager for multiple of companies in the US, UK, as well as Canada. And you'd ask me, okay, how is that possible? How are you doing all of this at the same time? I would say that AI has really helped me and changed my life personally. And I'm actually based out of Lagos, Nigeria. So it's not like I have a fictitious story. But if you want to find out if it's true, you can always look my LinkedIn page up. I am constantly posting daily. And I also have a lot of mentees who I train and also help individuals get jobs. Okay. So this is basically what today's session is going to be about. But I also want to know you as an individual, you as a person that is joining today's session. So if this is your first time joining in, like I mentioned, my name is Treasure. I'm a project manager and I'm based out of Lagos, Nigeria. I also want to know where each and every one of you is joining from. So if you'd be so kind, please kindly just put it in the chat, your name, your location, and currently what you're doing, okay? So that I can tailor the session as much as possible to you as an individual, okay? So let's have it in the chat, your name, your location, and basically what you're currently doing. I would like to know you as an individual before we move further in today's session. Okay, so I will be looking at the chat, and if any of that comes up, I would be able to read through. Okay, so please just put it on the chat, your name, your location, as well as what you're currently doing. So I'm going to give you a couple of like a minute to do that. Just type that out, because I like to say every session has to be personalized as much as possible. I don't want to be rambling and just talking about things that doesn't affect you as a person. Okay, so it would be very helpful to know what your career pathway is. Oh, I'm a financial accountant, or I'm a doctor, I'm a lawyer, I'm a student, I'm unemployed, I'm a stay-at-home mom, whatever the case may be. I just want to see it in the chat so that I can actually personalize this conversation. Okay. For those that are just joining in, welcome, 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 welcome to you. Today's session is going to be super, super duper enlightening. I'm going to be walking you through the different processes in terms of if you're looking at, I want to get an international role, but I don't know how to go about it. I'm currently 60 years old. I have worked in the tourism space for the last 15 years, and I'm looking for a role that I can retire in. I'm looking to set up a business or looking to get a foreign role that I can rack up some dollars and then, call it a day. This is the conversation that we're going to be having today. Like I mentioned earlier, I do a lot of mentorship, and I've helped people in their 50s, their 60s, be able to land director roles based off the current career pathway they are in the US as well. So this is majorly, there's a cheat code to it, for lack of a better word, for how you can achieve this. And I also want to share that with you. Okay, I might be young, but I have tried to perfect this as much as possible to ensure that I have those constant stream of income, coming from these different places. And I also want to be able to share this with you and help you have the opportunity of also getting those type of roles. Okay, so now that I see a lot of the responses in the chat, I'm just going to go over there, read your information. And then if you are just joining, you see that individuals are dropping things in the chat. All I need is your name, your location, and basically what you're currently doing. Okay, so now I'm just going to go over to the chat section. So we have Bassi. Bassi is a French coach joining from Calabar, Nigeria. We also have Daniel Eruku from Lagos, Nigeria. He's currently a data analyst. We have Rahab from Kenya. She's an Airbnb business and also she's in the Airbnb business and also a virtual assistant. We have Charles, who is civil servant as an accountant. We have Jude, who is an hotelier currently at Uyo City, Akwa Ibom. We have Kezia from Kenya, who is a lawyer, mediator specialist. We have Shedrack. We have Ademola, data analyst from Lagos. Elizabeth, who is a HR professional. We have Adebowale, who is a tutor of physics. Charity from Abuja. Shedrack is a student. Okay, Kenya as well. Currently working, former UN staff. We have Lord Bello, who is a marine engineer. Okay, Wally from Abuja. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining in. My name is Treasure Akiopo, and today's conversation will be very much enlightening. Okay, so my colleague is also going to be dropping the attendance form. It is very, very important that you go ahead to fill it, and so that I can also personally reach out to as many people as I can, because if we have a lot of people on this call, it'll be hard to do that, but I'll try as much as possible to do that. Okay, so now without wasting so much time, let's get into the session properly, and then we can ride on. Okay, so thank you so much, everyone, for joining in, and I'm about to share my screen so we can get started. Okay, so if you're still here with me, let me see. Okay, if you're still here with me, give me a thumbs up. If you can see my screen, also give me a thumbs up so that I know you can hear me loud and clear. Okay, all right, great. Can you see my screen, everyone? Okay, I'm getting a thumbs up. If I am currently lagging on your screen, also give me a thumbs up so I know if I reach my network, because it feels a bit. Okay, so I think I'm lagging. So give me 1 second, guys, so that I can switch my screen, switch my network. It's better now. If it's if it's better now, give me a thumbs up. Okay, yeah, okay, I think it's better now. All right. Thank you, everyone. So today we're going to be getting right into how to position yourself for international AI opportunities without having to relocate. Okay, so we here in Africa, we kind of understand that when it comes to having to relocate to the US, the UK, you are bothered about a lot of amenities. The conversion of the amounts that you make if you are in the US as an African, as compared to as an African at home with hard currency, there is a world of difference. Okay, and I can say that from personal experience. Okay, so people are thinking, how can I get those international roles without having to leave this country? Because staying in this country with a US dollar, with staying in this country working and being able to earn in USD, in Canadian dollars, and so on and so forth, it's pretty much mind-blowing, to be very honest, because when you do the conversion, you can just have 2,000 USD as just your salary that you're earning, but do that into naira, that is racking up into 2.8, 2.9 million naira. If you convert that into your own currency, that someone that is 2 years entry-level role in the foreign companies earning more than someone that has 15, let me exaggerate, even 20 years of experience in Nigeria, in Africa. Okay, I think I need to switch my network. Bear with me, guys. Let me switch. I feel like I'm still lagging, and I don't want that to be the case. So I'm just going to have to switch. Sorry, 1 second. And if you see that I drop off at any point, please let me know. Okay, so you would always want to have this type of opportunities, but the major issue or the major backlash that you feel is, oh, as an African, why would someone in America, why someone in Canada hire me when they have full-on professionals in this different different location? First off, it is cheaper for them to hire you. That's the very funny story. They'll be paying you 2,000 USD, they'll be paying you 5,000 USD. It might not be a lot of money for them, but it makes the whole world of difference for you. And that's the standpoint, coming first opportunity. Then secondly, looking at it from this perspective, they're looking for people that brings a dynamic, fresh perspective, someone that has proper value proposition for what they are currently doing. This is another way they choose to hire individuals on your stead. So what they basically do is you basically need to have 10 times more value than someone that is currently in their location. Okay. It is a struggle, but then there is a math, there is a science behind achieving this. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how we've helped people achieve this goal and also how we can do that for you as an individual. Okay. So without further ado, let's just get into it. And I'm going to be explaining as we move on. Okay. So the very first thing is, why did you decide as an individual that I'm going to join today's conversation? So why are you on today's call, and why do you feel like you're going to be benefiting from today's conversation? Okay, I really want to get to know what your basic idea of coming into this call was. Is it because you're looking to improve your finances? Is it because you're looking at getting a career opportunity abroad? Please just humor me, put it in the chat so that I'm able to respond to what, how this benefits you as an individual. So let me know why exactly you joined today's conversation. Let's have that in the chat. Let's have that in the chat, guys. Why are you on the call today? What exactly brought you into today's conversation? I'll be looking at the chat so that I can also go through this. Please, this is going to be a very interactive session. So it is very, very, very important that you go ahead to voice out your grievances. Okay, this is a safe space, by the way. It is important that you voice out your grievances, explain why you're here so that I can also prefer solution for you as an individual. Okay, so why exactly did you join today's call? So we can get into it. Okay, so first off, we have let me take this off. So first off, we have Chidera. Chidera says to improve my finances. Abdulaziz says, I actually want to improve my finances. Basi said to work remotely and earn in foreign currency. Adibimpe says, I just want to learn how to make use of AI tools to make work easier. Dauda says, I actually want to improve my finances. Sila says, for career, I think that's career opportunities abroad and improve my finances. Adempimpe says, Claude Code. I really don't know what that's about. Rahab says, to improve my finances and earn in dollars. Jude says, to diversify my income source. And Kezia said, career opportunities and improve finances. So I'll say that the general consensus of individuals on this call is to improve finances and also be able to upskill, which is fantastic. So I feel like I have my right audience on this call, and to be easier for me to communicate the basic ideology behind how to get this type of roles and also how to make money in USD, CAD, and so on and so forth. Okay, so let's get into today's session. So now I'm going to be painting scenarios. If you fall into any of these categories, just put it mentally. I'm not saying you have to put this on the chat, okay? But I want to speak to you as a person and speak to you as, the way I speak to people that are currently mentored, trying to land jobs and so on and so forth, okay? So if you are the type of person that you're currently doing a 9 to 5, you're currently running a business, you basically spend long hours. They say you're doing a 9 to 5, but realistically, I was doing a 9 to 5 and it's never a 9 to 5. I get up from the bed by 6 a.m., get ready, clean my house, and so on and so forth. I'm out of the house by like 7:40 to get to work by 9. My job closes by 5 p.m. I'm also, working long hours. And at the end of the day, I'm taking transport back home, traffic, and so on and so forth. I'm not back home to 8 p.m. So I've literally been up from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. And this is what I do every single day. This was my story previously. And I'm like, no, I can't be doing this every single day. I can't be doing this. I can be doing much better. Okay. So you physically been doing this over and over again, and you are exhausted physically and mentally. Every time when you see a slight break, when there's a slight holiday, you are jumping with joy. Okay. What can you do differently that you don't have to get in short? Nowadays, I sleep till 9 a.m., sleep till 10 a.m. to say that, oh, I'm going to start work by 11 a.m. because the companies I work with, their 9 a.m. is 2 p.m. my time. So I'm working 2 p.m. in the afternoon. So I'm sleeping 9 a.m. in bed, 10 a.m. I'm still working. And there's so much flexibility with what I currently do. So I know how that feels because I've gone through a particular phase and I'm currently here. Okay. So you come in, you do this work over and over again, 9 to 5, 9 to 5, 9 to 5. And for the last 5 years, you've not been promoted. They keep promising you bonuses. They keep promising you that after one appraisal and another, they'll be able to give you what you need. But you've actually not gotten to that level. And it's very, very frustrating. Every single day, you spend money on transport, on food, and so on and so forth. These things are having a toll on your body and also having a toll on the income. At the end of the day, you're going on with 500K salary. That might sound a lot to a lot of people, but actually you can be earning so much more. Like the potential, the sky is literally the limit. 500K is a good source of salary, but then when you put house rents, put groceries, and with the way the country is going, you know you need to be earning more, okay? So the next category of individuals that you have is that some of you are carrying silent frustration, showing up every day, you're working hard, you're delivering results, but then you're stuck in the same position. You are also in that position, or you've grown in your position. You're earning what now? You're earning 1 million naira as your salary package. And I'm talking about extremely senior level managers, okay? But then you can actually earn so much more, so much more. Another person is telling me, oh, Treasure, I'm 50 years, I'm 60 years, I'm 55 years. Where do I want to start from? Am I going to follow the other young people to be struggling for a job? And I'm telling you that, oh, you can actually make 10,000 USD, because not only do you come with a managerial position, salary, or experience, you're also someone with value proposition. So if we mix that with AI, you have a strong standing of landing these roles, okay? And I'm not saying that this is like fictitious. It happens every single day. Like in a month, I have 3-4 people that are my mentees that are able to land this role because we have a structured plan of achieving it. And then you could be a lady who just gave birth and you're wondering, oh, how can I take care of my baby and still be doing my current 9 to 5? There is something for you. Or you are a student, you are currently in school, you're in the university, okay? I currently started working officially when I was in the university in my final year. You're in the university, that's the best time to start building up yourself so that individuals, companies outside the country can reach out to you. Before I graduated, I already had 2 jobs lined up for me before I literally graduated from school. And this has to do with planning. It has to do with structure. It has to do with you showing up every single day. This is the story to get you to your goal. You cannot be sitting on your ass every day and expect a miracle, manna to fall from heaven. It is not going to pan out like that, okay? You need to get up. You need to do the work. Plan between June and September, or between June and latest December. I want to be able to put in my salary that I'm earning, or put in my account that I'm earning in USD, I'm earning in CAD. This is my goal for myself, okay? You don't just create that goal and say, that's it, miracle will happen. No, you need to now see what are those things that I can actively do to get that salary package I desire, because you need to put in work. And when you put in work, trust me, will you fail at some point? Yes. Would you make a mistake? Yes. But there are ways to correct. Once you make a mistake, you know, oh, this is 1 or 2 I need to learn from, and I improve on it. The first step is I send my CV. I send multiple CVs, and then I finally get my first interview. After I get my first interview, they didn't take me. I did the process again. I moved from first interview stage to second interview. I understood the mistakes I made in first interview, and then I improved on it. Second interview, you did it. Third interview, you did it until you got your salary, okay? Until you got that particular job. You also need to know that even because you're African, it does not stop you from negotiating. You also need to value yourself. If you don't value yourself, the other companies across the globe will ridicule you. In as much as they won't want to pay you so high as your counterparts, but you also need to make sure that you are getting a good bang for your buck, okay? So someone come and tell you, I'm going to pay you $500, or I'm going to pay you $1,000. I'm already happy. Oh, $1,000 is something I can manage. Okay, yeah, it could be an overstatement. I was even saying is an understatement if you are currently 10 years in, but I get it, in the civil service, it might not amount to that. But 500K or 200 to 500K might be the bare minimum. Trust me, it's nowhere close to what I earn, because I'm not being paid in Naira. So that is also why I'm looking to have this conversation. And Basti, I know we've had conversation on this prior, but then to create a structured plan on how you can get those type of roles, that 500K would be like chicken change to you in a very realistic sense, is what we're going to talk about, okay? So my colleague is also dropping the attendance form in the chat. It is is very important. For the life of me, I cannot overemphasize. Please fill the form so that you can get access to this material, and I can also reach out to you, okay, specifically on that level. And then final set of people is you are tired of feeling stuck in one place while watching others build global careers and better opportunities for yourself. You want a skill that can give you remote jobs. Yes, 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 yes. If you are looking for those remote opportunities, this is the conversation we're going to be having today. So it can come in many aspects, okay? Because you are scared, you don't want to leave your 9 to 5 first, okay? I want to be getting the 200, 300K that I'm getting. But what if I'm able to get a part-time job? The part-time job is paying me more than my full-time salary. So once I'm done with, whatever loyalty I have with this company, I move on to my part-time job, turn into my full-time job, or I can have multiple contract roles, okay? So we're going to be looking at it from two aspects. The first one is if you're looking to get a full-time role on a global scale, there's one package for you. If you're not ready to leave what you are doing, but you want to still make money, there is one for you. If you're the type of person that you want to build a business where you're going to be getting global clients, there is also a step for you to go through. Okay. So now I feel like I've highlighted this, and I feel like I've spoken to a lot of individuals on this call. You're unemployed, you are a beginner, you've never done anything tech related, you want to improve your career, you want to get more money. This is the conversation. Okay. So let's get into it. What we're going to be talking about today, the first one is identifying the AI skills that will enable you land your jobs within 2 months. Okay. The next one is learn the skills required to land the jobs right away. Finally, we have gaining the experience to show your employers that you are the best candidate for the job, and then how to get started today. So I'm going to be showing you one particular information I shared with individuals the last time I had a conversation with them. I was to have an interview with a particular employer in Europe. That was 2 weeks ago, if my math is correct, sometime in May. Okay. And then we had the conversation at the end of the whole thing, 2 weeks after I got the job. Okay. So it was me going through a series of processes. She said, "Oh, Treasure, I want you to do a technical task, do all of this, and then send to me by a particular timeline." I not only did it, I did a 1-minute video explaining my process and also created a value-added document and sent across to her. She sent me back an email and said, "Treasure, I only requested for the technical aspect of things, but I see that you still sent me a video and you sent me a document. I typically don't hire Nigerians, but I want to have a conversation with you." That was what was literally in her mail. And then we went on to have the conversation. And after I've been able to push myself push myself above others in that level, I had a conversation with her and I told her that the process you currently have in your company is not working. And she was kind of like taken aback. Imagine a Black girl in Nigeria that doesn't have like a lot of credibility with that particular title telling someone abroad that your company is not working and I can help you fix it. Okay, you need to have a certain level of audacity when you are doing this type of things, because the chance between you getting a job and not is how confident, how knowledgeable you are. I wasn't saying it from a place of being pompous or whatever. I was saying it because I had data to back it up. Before I got into that conversation, I had spent weeks researching our company. I had spent so much time going over their company over and over again to see what wasn't working. And based off that, I created a plan for them. So I was speaking from a place of data. This is what is not working. This is how you're going to improve on it. This is the step-by-step process to improve on it. And this is how I come in. Okay. So these were the different things that I spoke to her about. And then we went through the typical interview phase. This is what we offer for the role and so on and so forth. And she told me, "Okay, Treasure, I'm going to speak with 2 other people and then I'll come back to you." The following week, it was already on a Monday. We had that conversation on a Thursday. It was literally a day after my birthday, so I remember it very clearly. After the conversation on Thursday, the following week, she reached out to me, "Oh, Treasure, I really liked your process and everything. We're giving you the job." They put a stipulated base salary on the platform. And she said, Treasure, I don't want you on a higher level. I don't want you to just do this. I want you to do more than this. And they increased the salary. Are you comfortable with this? And typically I'm like, yes, I'm more than happy to do this. But I'm like, no, it looks good, but then let's add a couple of other amounts to it. I was pushing my luck. You should let me milk it as much as possible. This is like people's literal prayer points, okay? And then at the end of the day, we agreed, we settled on it, okay? So these are things that I do every single time. But how did I get that job to start with? I never applied. When I say you need to be audacious, I'm talking about it from the standpoint that you need to reach out to people. Okay, you need to reach out to people every single time. And I'm not saying reach out to your fellow account manager. You need to reach out to decision makers. The highest thing they can do, ignore you. That's the highest thing they can do. They would ignore you, not respond to your message. I have so many of them on my LinkedIn. But in that same vein, you have the ones that would respond to your message, be interested in talking to you. First off, how do you structure that message? Would you be like, oh, hi, my name is Treasure. I'm a project manager with 7 years of experience. I don't know where I can fit into your company, but I'll be able to help your company grow from point A to point B. Or you look for something that they currently have that is not working, and you find a solution to it, and then say, oh, I have, if you want to have a conversation, I can set up a quick 15 minutes call to show you the process. If you want to go on with this, you can. If you don't want to, that's fine. Thank you. I'll call it a day. Most often than not, they'll respond. But there's two things that would also hinder their response. If I go on your LinkedIn page now, please, what the hell would I see on your page? Am I going to see a fully structured profile that reads what you're doing, your achievements? Do you post consistently about your projects? Or am I going to see someone that does the very basic stuff? Oh, I'm a project manager, 10 years of experience. Oh, connect with me. I really don't know what the exact language is, but there's a flow to it. Okay, you are looking for a certain type of role, AI project manager, AI data analytics role, but there is nothing on your profile that signifies that. See, people come every day and tell me that, oh, LinkedIn is a tool that people come to brag on. Okay, they're bragging, but at the end of the day, people are also making money. They're making progress. How are they doing it? Are you going to jump on that bandwagon and say, oh, because people are basically, what's the word, gaslighting everybody with what they currently do? Or you're going to find the underlyings of how they make money on the platform. Once you find the process, you're also going to make money. So that is basically how this works. And that is what we're going to be talking about today. Okay, so let's quickly move on so that I don't spend too much time on that. So a bit about the company, and if this is your first time, coming across Tenalytics or Tenalytics business, just to give you a bit of insight, why I joined this company is I took a course with them on AI, on project management as at then, got my certificate, and they kind of sort of helped me with the first level of project manager roles I was getting. So I'm like, yeah, I'm looking for a company that I can partner with to see how we can help people get high-paying jobs, okay? Because I'm mentoring a lot of people. I want to be able to have access to helping people land jobs, okay? So what we do as a company is not training you. Training is just one aspect of the things we do. The end goal for us is, how can I make sure that you're successful? How can I make sure that you're getting those high-paying roles, okay? Even in Africa, in Kenya, in Nigeria, how can you get the best of the best roles? This is what we focus on as a company, okay? So we are basically, this is us, we're basically based out of Alberta, Canada, and also London in the UK. And then in the last 5 years, we've helped 4,000. I'm not saying one, I'm not saying two, I'm saying 4,000 individuals who has no prior experience in this space. They are teachers, they are lawyers, they are medical professionals, either transition from that to getting a full-on tech role to be able to land jobs. And not only have we done this, we've also had different competitions where people end up earning thousands of USDs with gadget prices. So we're very dedicated to seeing how we can help people land job opportunities, okay? So the next thing we have 182 employees scattered across the world. We have people in Canada, in the UK, in Nigeria, in Africa, all parts of Africa, okay? So we also have 300 plus industry specialists across the different AI AI ecosystem as well as tech ecosystem. So we help individuals in things like generative AI for data analytics. We help them in AI automation engineering, data analytics, health tech, business analysis, data engineering, all this. This is what we focus on as a company. But like I said, it is not just looking at for you to get the training and call it a day, but it is looking at you actually landing the job. Okay. So now let's move on to a bit about myself. So like I mentioned, I think you are pretty much tired of this, but I'm treasurer. I handle partnerships, and I'm also a project manager. So like I mentioned, I'm a project manager for a couple of companies in the UK and Canada. I'm also handling partnerships for Analytics. The good part is we've been able to partner with some of the top brands in Africa. I'm talking about the likes of MTN, Kuda, InfaCredit, Nigerian Breweries, Mikano Motors. So if you go on our profile, we've been trusted by a lot of companies. So I'm not even saying on an individual basis. I'm saying industries reaching out to us, Lagos Continental Hotel reaching out to us. We have a lot of the banks reaching out to us for us to train their staff. So we've collaborated with a lot of these individuals. So I've successfully, managed hackathons because I'm very, very keen on helping people get into tech in the US, UK, and Europe. And I've also specifically myself trained over 150 people in AI and machine learning. Looking at the partnership level, I've helped the business growth increase by between 30%, and I've also led different programs. I'm currently residing in Lagos, Nigeria, and I'm working remotely with a lot of my global teams and organizations. Okay, so that's a bit about me. So let's get straight into the business of today. So now, we are a very forward-thinking company. We are not going to be taking you through archaic process because you can go back and learn Microsoft Excel, Power BI, and so on and so forth. But now AI is the new currency. AI is literally like what we call oil here in Nigeria. It is a newfound stock, and what would I call it now, cryptocurrency, and so on and so forth. If you watch the news, you find out that recently Elon Musk became the first trillionaire based off the data and based off one of his current stock, SpaceX. Okay, so that is one of the major companies that makes use of AI. We have a lot of companies that have been hiring for AI. Even Google, even Meta have thrown away some of their employees and said, "Oh, AI has come to take your job." But now I want to get a consensus from the room. Do you feel personally that AI can take your job? If you feel so, type a yes in the chat. If you don't think so, type no. I really want to know. And when you want to know if you're still in this room, in this conversation, do you think that AI can take your job? If you think so, please type a yes in the chat. If you think no, Gloria says no. Ademola says no. Ajayi says no. Please, I need more responses. We're over 60 plus on this call. I really need to know what the consensus is in this room. All of you feel like AI can't take your job? I would really love to hear your perspective on this. Why do you think AI cannot take your job? Please, let's get more responses. Tobiloba says no. Okay. Please, let's have more responses. We're 60 plus here. It will be very, very helpful. AI won't take your job, but people with AI understanding will. Silas took that right out of my mouth. Okay. And Lassie says no, but AI can enhance my productivity. Okay. So thank you so much, guys. Realistically, AI has a chance to take over your role if your role is the one that is very, very repetitive. Before we used to have what we call what they call them, data entry specialists. We also used to have customer support specialists and so on and so forth. But then you can see that there's been a decline in those type of repetitive role. When I say repetitive role, I mean your tasks. You come today and all you do is, you go over the process every single day. You're doing the same thing every single time. That's what you're doing. AI can actually do some of those tasks. If your task is repetitive, sending emails, if you're doing things like even calling people now, those telemarketing companies, they're also in danger of actually losing a lot of their individuals, okay, because they do repetitive tasks. But individuals who understand how to make use of AI are also taking a good chunk of those other individuals who don't know how to make use of AI. And that is for fact. If you look at the news, when it comes to like on the tech aspect of things, Meta has fired quite a number of people day in, day out. Google taking over based off AI. Everywhere you turn, you cannot avoid AI. Whether it's on Instagram, whether it's on Google itself, there is one AI tool embedded, one AI tool or the other embedded in the process. Okay. So realistically, AI can take your job if you play smart with it. Okay. AI is an assistant. AI needs a handler. AI needs someone to direct it to do things. Okay. If you know how to make use of AI to do those things, you have a very strong chance of keeping your job. But if you don't, and you feel like, I have good experience in other things, I don't need this AI thing. I hear it every day, but I don't feel like it would help me, then that's your own problem. You have a chance of losing your job. And I'm sorry that I'm going to keep using myself as an example, but I don't have a greater example than myself. Okay. When I started in project management, I used the basic tool we use in project management: Notion, Jira, Asana, and so on and so forth. That's what I use. But then with the advancement of AI, I noticed now that if I go into interviews, because one thing that I also try to do is, in as much as I have all these jobs, I don't say, I can now call it a day. I am still applying for jobs every single day. I take out 30 minutes to 1 hour of my day. I have a time blocked in my calendar just to apply for jobs. I used to say, I want to see if I'm so hot in the market. And I tweak my CV, tweak my LinkedIn profile based off the responses. And I also encourage every other person to do it. I take out time to do these things. And I'm not just saying I have one CV that I'm trying out and trying to people to say that this is what I currently do. I take my time to tailor each of these CV. But then I was able to actually create a workflow. And I said it's quite a lot. Okay, this workflow, I did it on Anytime. What does this workflow do for me? As a job seeker, you know that finding a job is a job in itself, realistically. I built a workflow that I have what I call my master resume. If you see on my profile, you see I'm into like business management, project management, partnerships, and so on and so forth. So I created a master resume that has all my experience, all my skill sets. It's in one document. It is over 10 page long. Okay. So now I can't submit a 10-page resume to different companies. It is not going to work. Please, if you have a pen and paper, take it down. This session is also being recorded. So please fill the attendance form so that you can just, take some of these insights and also replicate. Okay. So I created that master resume. After creating the master resume, I said to myself, okay, what type of jobs am I looking for? I'm typically looking for a project management role, sometimes partnerships, sometimes things in operations. So I need 3 different resumes that speaks to these things that is not more than 2-page long. I created 7 different prompts based off the information on my master resume. Okay. So what it does is it would take my professional experience, it would take my project experience, it would separate it. Then it will combine it into one resume. That particular resume, it will not be more than 2 pages long. It is going to have a summary that has 3 lines. 3 lines in terms of, it's not, let me take it a step back. What I have on the first line is what I have on the first top page is my name and my surname, then my LinkedIn profile link, it is hyperlinked in my CV, then my email is hyperlinked as well as my phone number. I typically don't like to put my location because it doesn't really help out some of the time if you're looking for global roles. Then professional summary. The professional summary should not be more than 2 lines. I can explain 2-3 lines maximum. The first word or the first 2 words in your professional summary should be the job title's name. Okay. Sometimes you have people that are looking for healthcare projects manager, and then you have someone looking for a financial projects manager. If your first word is just a project manager and doesn't have the keyword of healthcare or financial projects manager, since you're potentially using the ATS system, it doesn't go through. Okay. So ensure that the name, the first 2 letters, not letters, right? The first 2 words in your professional summary or first 3 words should replicate the job title's name. Okay. Then the next thing that you might think is so simple is, the job is requesting for individuals with not more than 5 years of experience. And you as an individual, you have 7 years of experience. You go and put projects manager or healthcare projects manager with over 7 years of experience. Do you know that that's potentially also a problem? It basically means that you are potentially overqualified. If they say not more than 5 years, maximum 5 years should be on your profile. Project manager with 5 years of experience, give them what they ask for. I literally tell people that your CV, your resume should be the answer to the job description. If it's not the answer, sometimes you just have problems with it because the ATS system is not a human being. it is following criteria, it's following workflow. So your CV needs to replicate that. So with 5-6 years of experience, you have that 2 lines. Then the next thing you have is your technical skills. Okay, your technical skills, I'm talking about if you have understanding of different tools. Like myself, I make use of Jira, Power BI, I make use of what's the word now? Asana, Microsoft Office suite. You just highlight that. The next one you have is your competencies. When you're talking about your competencies, you're going to be looking at things like, project management. Please, sorry if I miss, this is what I'm familiar with, so that's what I'll be explaining with. Project management, resource management, leadership, all of that. You're going to highlight that. I typically do that in 2 different bullet points, startup. And then the next thing is your experience. Your experience, you have your title, you have the job, the company, you also have the location, and then at the end you have the years from what year to what year. Then I typically also like to put it in a very small explanation of what the company is, whether it's a very big company. So like Google now, if I've worked in Google, I'm going to put Google there and I'm going to explain just in 2 lines. Then the next thing, I have 5 bullet points with my experience highlighted, 5 bullet points. I'm not saying if you have 10, please go and cut it. If you have 3, go and add more to it. And I'm not going to say, oh, I have managed people in an organization to achieve their goals and objectives. People like to just put words, because I also have helped with recruiting. People just put words there. But your CV needs to have, it should be quantifiable. It should have numbers, especially if you are looking for technical roles or tech-oriented roles. Even if you're a customer service person, you were able to speak with 500 people, or you were able to resolve 500 escalation and reduce the downtime of the company by 90-100%. You need to quantify your achievement. You don't just put numbers. If you don't just put words, rather, it doesn't really help you go far. Okay, so you have that, and at the end of the day, these days, education is not really required. You can put your certification, education, combine, wrap it up. That's your resume. That's your CV. Okay, so once you have your CV fully optimized, then you can move it into the next place. Okay, so yeah, let me go back to the whole reason why I was talking about this. So now that I have my master resume, I create a workflow that the jobs that I'm looking for, I highlight them in that particular prompt, that these are the jobs I'm looking for. So what AI does for me based off the workflow, I can't really explain the process. If it makes sense to you, that would be very great. What I did was AI goes to LinkedIn, goes to all these different job platforms. It picks jobs that are a 90% and above match for me based off my resume. It now creates a tailored resume in another sheet. Okay, I do it that every 12 hours. That's my trigger for anything. Every 12 hours, it goes and pulls that job, and then it creates those tailored resume. And at the end of the day, I have the resumes to apply. So all I do is I just come back, click on the link for the job, go ahead to apply, because I don't even need to think, is this job good for me or not? AI has already explained it on the back end that, oh, this job is 90% based off this, that, and this is why you should apply. So this is what helps me with a strong point on just achieving jobs, okay? Because this is something I do over and over again. I was able to create a process because I don't want to go and be checking LinkedIn every day to apply for a job. AI was able to achieve this for me. So now going back to what I was trying to explain, no, AI would not take your job, but at this point, you need it to enhance your productivity. If your company is doing something that takes it over 2 weeks, you know that this thing is a constant problem for you. Before your car gets bad, it gives you signals, right? But what if in your company, in your organization, you can also get that signal warning that is basically predicted by an AI tool? This helps save thousands of USD and also goes to you. I typically calculate things in dollars. Thousands of Naira or whatever currencies you're using for your company. And it's also super rewarding, okay? So no, AI would not take your job, but you do need to have a good understanding of how to make use of AI to go further, especially if you're looking for global jobs. If you just want to get the regular jobs, you can keep on with your process. But know that you have a high chance of losing that job. A very high chance, and I'm not kidding about this. Regardless of where you are, you really do need to upskill. Okay, so let's quickly move on. Please ensure that you're filling out the attendance form. Yeah, so Now let's talk about someone we're able to help get a remote job in Canada. And he just completed this program recently. Okay. So if you want to watch this, I'm very sure Deborah shared it when she was, displaying her screen. So Olusegun was an operation manager for a logistic company in Nigeria. And now his background is in finance. So what I like to tell people is you feel like getting into tech, you need to code, you need to do this, you need to do that. That is not the case. Okay. You can be someone that don't have any single experience. You've never done anything AI related, but you're still able to land a job. Okay. So now he was able to now take our program in AI automation engineering in November 2025. And by November, I completed this program by January of 2026. In 2026, he landed a remote job with a company in Canada as an AI automation engineer. And then he went ahead to set up his own company. Okay. So you want to check his profile, please just head on to links and you see it. The idea behind why I'm showing you this is your background doesn't matter. Your background is also a major reason why you might get a job that somebody else wouldn't. One thing that you need to know when it comes to landing roles is know that your background is your 50% power. You just need AI to complete the other 50%. Okay. So let me explain it in this manner. I am thinking that I'm a project manager. Okay. But then when I want to apply for roles, I typically like to go to niche roles, healthcare related, because my background is in healthcare. So I will go look for healthcare project manager roles. I have a high chance of earning it or of getting that job. Why? Not only do I have project management understanding, I also come from a background with healthcare. They would choose me over someone that is just a project manager. So know that your background would be a strong suit for you because you have the you have the business understanding. Now you just need an additional technical standpoint to help you get those roles. Okay. So this is something that we majorly focus on. We're not looking at training you. Training, please go on Coursera, go on YouTube if that's your goal. You just want to, watch videos, be able to do certain things, go. But if you are looking at you want to improve your finance, you want to get a job in AI, you want to land a global role, then we can have a conversation. Okay. So now let's talk about how did Shegun get this job role. Okay. So the very first standpoint we're going to be looking at is forgot to mention that he did that in 2 months, but if you do the math, you're able to understand that. Okay. So the first thing is he learned a high demand skill that is eligible for remote job opportunities. Okay. So he did not just go and say, oh, what type of, he learned something that is very, very, very important for him to land those roles. So the first one is AI software and web developer. So when it comes to software web development, I see a lot of people run. Once they hear, they take a whole race and run. Why? Because they feel like, oh, am I going to have to code? I'm a finance person, I'm a doctor. I did not come for this, please. You don't have to code. That's the reality. In this day and age, even software developers themselves that went to learn full stack development make use of AI to code. You don't necessarily need, in short, you don't have to have any understanding of coding. Okay. For myself, I was able to build a full-on website without having to code. This is all based on prompting. AI, do this. And I landed myself with a full-on yes, it does, Chisom. I would explain that when I'm moving on across. Okay. So I landed myself with a full-on website. So how did I do it? There's a tool called Replit. Replit does your website development for you without having to code. Okay. So basically imagine you yourself, you are able to create a website. Okay. For us ladies here, you want to buy a bag. I'm looking to buy a red Gucci bag, okay? And my budget is 500K. I go on this website. Instead of me having to scroll so many times, my website is voice activated. I just say to my website, I'm looking to get a bag, a Gucci bag, a red Gucci bag. My budget is 500K. And it goes and pulls data from different marketplace and puts the information up with my budget, with all the information and so on and so forth. The user experience is so much better on that level than having to manually check out all this information. So this is where the software and web developer earns a lot of money. The funny story is software web development are one of the highest paid individuals. Okay. But now instead of the company to be looking at someone that will be doing their website for the next two years, a year, you can get someone that does it in a month, in 2 weeks, based off AI. And you get your 5,000, 6,000 USD clean. I have friends that make ridiculous amount of money. You know, when you put it in perspective, as software developers, they make very huge amounts of money. So this is something you can also get into. Once you understand the AI tool, you're basically able to build different websites without having to write code. You're going to get this. Okay. The second one is you have generative AI engineers. This ties back to AI automation engineering. So if you're looking at AI automation engineering itself, you're looking at how you can create workflows. Remember I mentioned that I was able to create a job search workflow, okay? You can do a lot more than that. If in your company you need multiple sets of reports every single day, what if your reports can be generated automatically without you having to struggle, without you having to do anything? AI does that for you. The other thing is stock markets now, financial markets. What if you're able to create a predictive bot that is able to predict the stock market for you? So you understand what type of stocks do I need to invest in? What type of stocks are not a good investment plan for me? This is AI related. What if you're looking at creating customer support chatbots? Different type of AI automation workflows based off your current company's issues. Okay, I work in the FMCG space. I handle machines. What if I can create AI automation workflows that is able to trigger me when a machine is about to get bad? Or is able to trigger me when a product, when I say trigger, I mean like it would send an alert. Oh, red means that it is seriously damaged. Yellow means that, oh, maybe there's a potential for this machine to go bad based off analysis. Okay, these are things that you can do with AI automation that can help you land roles. Okay, the other aspect you're going to be looking at is from the product standpoint. Okay, you want to be able to build different products based off your workflow. This is where AI automation also comes into play. At the end of the day, you want to be able to create voice-activated AI agents. You're able to do that with AI automation engineering fully and clearly. Okay. Then the next one you have is, okay, I've mentioned AI automation engineer. Then we have AI data analytics. So when it comes to AI data analytics, you're going to be looking at sorry guys, got distracted for a bit. When you're looking at AI for data analytics, you're looking at how can I analyze, clean my data, visualize my data without having to go through all the manual process that I would have done if I'm using Excel, Power BI, and so on and so forth. I want to be able to build fully functional reports in less than 15 minutes. As a data analyst, you are going to struggle when it comes to end of the year reports. And why is that? End of the year report, you're pulling data from over 12 departments. And realistically, you have to clean this data, analyze this data, build your different pivot table, build the dashboard, get insights, and so on and so forth. But what if there was a tool that can help me do all this process in less than 15 minutes? I don't have to bother. The funny story is the typical data analyst and the AI data analyst, they don't end the same. The AI data analyst earn far more. You can check it anywhere, far more than a data analyst that spend hours and hours trying to achieve the same goal as an AI data analyst. Anything that has AI behind it automatically shoots the salary up. That is the realistic standard of it. So from the data analyst perspective, if you are in HR, you are not far behind from this because you have what you call the AI HR analyst. It is pretty much like an AI data analyst, but it's just HR professional making use of this process. So how does that apply to this? As an HR analyst, you'll be able to improve your recruitment process. So instead of you having to go long months or long weeks being able to hire someone, you can do that in less than 1 week. AI can help you with your workflow. You just create a particular criteria basis and it compares the job opportunity it compares the different CVs and resumes to the criteria you have created. And if you're not a good fit, trust me, if you've ever gotten, unfortunately, we're not moving forward to application. It is AI. AI was the one that did that analysis. And at the end of the day, they didn't deem you fit. And if you were fit for the position, you move on to the interview stage. This is all AI. Okay, you can have AI do this for you. Then you can also have AI on the performance analysis for your staff. So for your staff processes, you want to be able to see who is doing really well, who needs training, who do you need to hire. All of that can be on a performance analysis dashboard. It would create a dashboard for you. It would create a report for you. One fantastic thing for the HR guys, you can create your HRS, that is your system, your human resource system. It would be a central hub that would handle all things appraisal, discipline, staff information, salary, all of that would be on a hub. If you've ever seen things like, oh, not HR, we have paid HR, seamless HR, these are HRIS tools. You can create workflows that you connect to those tools, or you can go in and create your own product and you get into the market. I typically tell people you have 4 ways to make money from AI. It is either you get a full-time role, you get a part-time role, you create a product that you sell, or you're also able to teach the different AI tools that are available. This is something that you can make money from using AI for data analytics. The next one we also have what we call AI social media content creation. So this also ties back to you as an individual. AI data is not among the list on the option. Okay, all right, Deborah. Please just check the form. Deborah Uche, please check the form. We do offer AI for data analytics. I'm going to show the main website so that you can see it on the website yourself. It is available. So Deborah Uche, please just confirm that. Deborah Uche David. Okay, thank you. The next one we have is AI for, what was I about to explain now? Content creation. Day in, day out, every time that I have to sit in a meeting and have a conversation with influencers, I am mad. I am brimming with madness, because tell me why you're telling me a 60-second video is going to cost me 2.5 million naira. No shade, they have amazing engagement, amazing followers. I'm like, what the heck? I tell my team members that I'm definitely going to get into this influencing because I don't understand it. The minute I started posting videos, I had people reach out to me. I had 4 different people reach out to me for paid partnership, for me to mentor them. These are people that are willing to pay me in USD. As a Nigerian, someone in America is reaching out to me to help them get a job. At some point, it was like, is this normal? So this is based off how you're able to create videos that are eye-catching. I have people on this call that could be business owners. You sell clothes, you sell shoes, you sell different things, but you don't know how to get that information across. You feel like, how do I sit in front of a camera to, how do I sit in front of a camera to state all this information? Well, you can't do this. You don't even need to sit in front of a camera. AI has gone so wild that just as you see me talking right now, you see me do different mannerisms, the sound of my voice, AI can replicate it exactly to the very last detail. So what it helps me do is I just have those videos go out. I just create the script. Sometimes I don't need to create the script because AI has already created it on the back end, and I have those videos go out. It also does this AI data analytics for my social media. So I know, what are the things I need to improve on? Which ads are performing really well? Which ads do I need to dump? All of that is AI oriented. I don't really need to stress on that. Okay. So these are the things that you're also able to learn. It would help you build your content calendar. It would help you build your script. All of that will be fully handled with AI. The next thing we're going to be talking on is AI for business analysis as well as project management. So when it comes to business analysis and project management, this I have more experience to explain on. From the BA aspect, you're currently running a business, you're looking to set up a business, you don't know how to go about it. This is where the AI tool comes into play. So it would help you from start to finish. What are the key things that I need to look out for when it comes to running my business? What do I need to set up? What are the things I need to build? That is where AI comes into play. Or you're currently running a business, but your business is running at a deficit. When I say deficit, the last time you made proper profit was in 2023. That was like 5 million naira or so on and so forth. From 2025, 2026, it's just been a downward trend. AI can help you remedy that solution. You made 2 million naira in profit in 2023, 1 million naira in profit in 2024. You cannot keep going down and down. You need to find a way to remedy that situation. You have AI for business analysis handling that for you end to end. So if you're a business professional, that helps you. The other aspect is project management. If you're looking to run projects for different companies across the world, this is where AI for project management comes into play. The project is typically hinged on 3 major things: time, budget, as well as the scope of the project. Okay, so from when you plan your project right down to when you close your projects, from your project initiation to closure, you make use of AI every step of the way. So if you're able to handle projects and instead of it finishing 6 months, it's finishing 5 months, 5.5 months, if you're supposed to spend 5 million naira, you're able to manage the money and spend 4 million, 4.5 million naira, you have repeat business with different organizations. Whether you're looking at construction, agriculture, healthcare, there are different types of projects, and you have AI managing all of that for you to achieve your goals. Okay, so these are the different top AI aspects that you need to get into. Whether it's AI automation, AI software, AI content, data, business analysis, or HR, there is something for everyone on the call. Okay, so let's move on quickly so that I can answer your questions. Okay, sorry about that, guys. You might stop seeing my screen for a bit. Let me reshare. Okay, so, okay. If you're seeing my screen now, please give me a thumbs up. If you can see my screen now, please give me a thumbs up. If you can't see my screen, give me a thumbs down. Okay, all right, great, fantastic. Okay, so now looking at different salary standpoints for AI roles, these different AI roles I've talked about, these are realistic jobs that you can apply for. This was posted 9 days ago, posted 5 days ago. I just wanted to quickly get all this information to see so I can show you in real time the type of jobs you can get. AI data lead, you're looking at, I'm not even saying 5,000 US. This is a full-time role. You're looking at 180,000 to 220,000 USD. 220,000 USD every year. They have the artificial intelligence AI business transformation analyst. You are looking at a minimum of 68,000 to 103,000 USD. HR analyst, you're looking at 75 to 80K. Project manager AI, you're looking at 95,000 to 112,000 USD per year. Just to give you a bit of insight, if you're looking at getting any of these AI roles across different countries, okay, for the UK, you're looking at 60 to 90,000 pounds. Pounds. Do plus and minus. Every time that I look at these things, I calculate it in naira because I'm a Nigerian at heart. I'm like, how much is this in naira? You can do that by yourself and see how much it is. The next one you have is 80,000 to 138. And these are not fictitious numbers. Go on Glassdoor, do the calculation. You'd see this amount pop up. So for CAD, you have 80,000 to 138,000 and 120,000 to 180,000 if you're looking at USD. Is this achievable? Very much so. I have highlighted different ways of you getting to this point. If you've listened to me through this process, we can help you achieve this goal. If it is to land a foreign role, land a job that pays you in this amount, just let me know. Okay, just stay with me to the end of the session. I would state a particular information that might help you get through this. Okay, so now let's move on. I've talked about all these different courses that we have available. So these are the tools that you are going to be learning for each of this. Okay, so we have programs, obviously, for each of these courses that I've mentioned. These are these AI courses I've mentioned. Okay, so if you're looking to start any of this program today, we have a live class. Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. West African time. Okay, so for Kenyans, I think you are 2 hours ahead. Last I checked, just do the math and confirm, and then you also have access to your LMS videos. Okay, so your learning class would be for 2 months. You're looking at a 2-month timeline, and the classes would be on the weekend. So the weekends you have Saturdays and Sundays, 10 a.m. Saturdays 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. and then Sundays you have the LMS system to learn. Okay, so these classes are just going to be like the way the session is, except the person is not going to be talking too much. I have been talking too much. Okay, what is going to look at is a practical class. At the end of the day, for you to learn these rules, another key thing is you need the skill set. You need your project portfolio. The thing that it always asks is, Treasure, if you've ever applied for a US role, you would know that there's a section that says
portfolio/website link, something like that. If you've seen that, please give me a thumbs up. If you've ever tried to apply for a US role and you saw portfolio/website link, that is one key thing that they always request for. So we're going to help you build. Thank you so much, everyone. We're going to help you build that project portfolio. Okay. It could either be in a website format. It could even be in something as simple as Canva. Okay. But then we cannot build your portfolio empty. You need projects. So the projects that you've worked on, because I mentioned this is a practical class, all the different projects you've been able to work on, will be able to, structure your portfolio so that you have that to send in. Okay. So all throughout the 8 weeks you're going to be in this program, all the 8 weeks, every single week, you're going to be working on a project. It is not for you to come and get certificates. We are not interested in you getting certificates. We want you to have that skill so that at the end of the day, you have the chance to land those roles. So every single week, you build your project and to go into your project portfolio. Okay. So the next thing, in terms of how Segun, because I'm using Olusegun as a case study, how did Olusegun learn? So the best way to land a job is project-based environment and showcasing your work. If you know me, if you follow me on LinkedIn, or if you've ever seen my LinkedIn page, I post 3 times a week. 3 times a week. Do I like doing it? Absolutely not. But what do I talk on? Excuse me, I focus on all the projects that I've worked on. Some of the projects, yes, I did sign an NDA. I'm not going to release all the information on the project, but I'm going to put that information out there so that if there's a difference, because right now I'm working with a travel company, people in the tourism space, okay? Apart from, that's the new project job I'm doing, okay? So if I put out information there and there are other tourism, travel related company reach out to me, based off that, that's amazing. So every project that I get to work on has a very strong aspect on my page. Why? If I work on a project, I need to showcase it. I need to show how I was able to build AI-related process to ensure the project was on track. I'm also able to say what are the issues that I had along the way and how did I resolve it. I'm not doing it for myself. I'm basically creating my portfolio online so that people that see it, when they think about a project manager, the first thing they do is reach out to me. The number of times I've said project manager on this call, if you don't remember anything about me, that's the one thing you would remember, because I say it boldly everywhere. These are my achievements and this is what I've been able to do. So once you've been able to learn the projects, and please, for individuals like you wondering, oh, how can I get that? Once you get into the program, like I mentioned, everything is going to be project focused. So that is what we're going to look at, for you to learn by doing work, not by saying, oh, this is what I've been able to do. And at the end of the day, you're also going to be able to showcase your work by helping you build your portfolio. Okay, so these are some of the projects you're going to be working on. And like I said, at the end of the day, you're working to 10 to 15 projects. You'll be working with different companies, looking at different case studies, depending on the particular job role that you're interested in. Okay, so now once you are done with the program, I'm so proud to say that we're both accredited by the CPD in the UK and also by the American Council of Training and Development. So once you are done, you're going to be getting a certificate that covers this, that shows the accreditation of both. This certificate, you're going to use it globally, everywhere in the world, because it is internationally recognized. We had a lot of students that have been able to land role with this certificate. Okay. The next thing that we're also going to be looking at is for you to gain foreign work experience. The funny story is, as an African applying for jobs in the UK, Canada, they'll be asking you for a Canadian work experience. Please, how do you want me to find it when you don't want to hire me? So we have found a loophole in that situation for you to be able to land this particular job opportunities. And what is that loophole? When you're talking about gaining foreign experience, the first thing is getting your project-based experience, and then the first thing is getting your projects from class and then showing evidence of your work. But one thing that we really do here in this company is, since Analytics is based out of Canada, it is accredited in the UK as well as America. What we do is, once you get into the program, we say put it on your CV, on your LinkedIn, that you are consulting for Analytics. Why? the thing is, they would ask you for a recommendation letter, reference letter from your company, especially if you say you have worked for a Canadian company and so on and so forth. The next thing is on your CV, you have 5 years of experience. Okay. You cannot go back to start looking for a job as a entry-level staff or intern staff. We want to ensure that we're retaining your 5 years of experience. So we impute the AI automation workflows you've created into the different things. Let's say you worked as a customer success person, marketing personnel, and now you are in partnerships. All these three different roles, we would work on projects on those roles, okay? And then you impute in your experience skill set how you've been able to use AI on all these different processes, okay? So that is how we do it, to ensure that you already have a Canadian foreign experience based off your consultancy with analytics. Do you understand my drift? So instead of you now going to look for jobs as an entry-level staff, you are getting jobs as a full-time staff, okay? So now let's quickly move on. So the next place is know where and how to apply for this job. So where to apply? LinkedIn is great, fantastic and all, but then there are 1,001 people on LinkedIn looking for a job. So how do you separate yourself from those? You have different platforms you can go on: Outlier, JobGetter, Micro One, Visa Jobs HQ, and so on and so forth. If you're also someone that is a student on this call, maybe in the UK, US, you're looking to get into those places, and then you're looking for these job opportunities because it would fast track you getting your visa, we can also help you on that level. Okay. So if you're looking at visa jobs, or you're just looking for job roles where you stay in a particular country and then you're able to work for those companies, we also have that for you. Okay. And the next thing is these different job boards, we have them for startup companies. I tell people that the best way to get foreign roles is not looking at those big jobs, Google, Amazon, great. If you get them, fantastic. But look at startup companies. Startup companies are willing to bet on you far more than those big organizations, in quotes. So look at those startup companies, reach out to founders, let them know your value proposition, reach out to as many people. But before you start to reach out to people, whether by email or by LinkedIn, make sure that your profile is set up right. If you are reaching to them by email, you can make use of apollo.io to get different emails of different decision maker, and then you send them cold emails. But please, the cold email should not be, oh, I am looking for a job. It should be something value oriented. I typically say have a value added document whenever you're reaching out to these different individuals. Okay. So now let's move on. I already talked about reference. Okay. So once you join into this program, we'll be able to provide you with that job reference or recommendation letter whenever they request for it. So the reference letter, job letter, these are different examples for the job. This one is even a job in NHS in the UK. If you're looking for job roles here, you can also get that. Okay. So these are the different reference letters. So how do we help you land a job? So you pick a particular program, whether it's AI for data analytics, AI for HR, AI for automation, whatever it is. But I'm going to just leave this aspect. I like to talk about the package aspect. Would help you gain experience, like I've mentioned, would help you with your CV. Like I mentioned to you, what they use to analyze different CVs now is the ATS system. So we need to make sure that your CV meets that criteria. So we either set up a new CV for you or we revamp the old one. We optimize your LinkedIn for you. We'd also build portfolio. Then mentorship session. You know why this mentorship session is very, very important? We have individuals that have gone ahead to land roles. We bring them back into the program to be able to explain, oh, this is the different ways they've been able to get roles. And they also make referrals for you. So you also be getting referrals from different individuals, would help you with interview prep, and finally we'll be giving you job reference. Okay. So we also have all these different page jobs, job boards that you can apply to. And I like to tell people, applying is not the only way for you to land roles. There are other ways, okay? So it would help you guess the other ways of you actually landing those job opportunities, okay? So now let's move on to this very interesting question I like to ask. But I feel like a lot of people will tell me yes. Are you comfortable in the situation that you're in right now? Okay. Please, if you know anybody that needs to be on this session, I know we're rounding up, but I'm going to get to the most important part at the tail end. And it's only going to be for individuals that are remaining on the call. So if you drop off at any point, that would literally be on you. So now to my very important question. Are you comfortable with where you are right now? whether monetary wise, financial wise, your job wise, I would really love to hear from everybody on the call. Are you comfortable with where you are right now? Please just put that in the chat. Okay. Adebimpe says 50-50. It can always be better. I like to say it can always be better. Silas says no. Please, we're over 40 plus on this call. I would really love if I could get, please, just is 2 letters or 3 letters. It doesn't take you anything to put that in the chat. Sorry, Ibro, you can just type in the chat. After that, I would open the floor for questions. Okay. I'm just getting 3 responses. Has everybody else gone to sleep? If you're still hearing me, give me a thumbs up. Because it feels like everybody has left me on this call. If you're still here, please give me a thumbs up so that I know you can hear me loud and clear. And then we're good to go. And please, if you know anybody that needs to be on the call, it is very important because I'm going to take a very important announcement at the tail end of this conversation. And I'm getting right there. Okay. So let's see. I still just have a few more responses. Ajayi said we can always be better. That's the reality of things. And Etin said no times 100. Yemi says no as well. Okay. So now, if you feel like your situation can be better, I also want to be able to share the knowledge and impart with you. I can't do proper explanation in a 1 hour, 1 hour, 15 minutes conversation. I am not a robot at the end of the day, but I would really love to have the exclusive session with you where I can run you through a specific plan that fits you. But there's a criteria for that. Okay. So let's quickly move on so that we can get into that. These are just testimonials of people that we've helped all through, and there are loads more on our YouTube channel. So even if you're a teacher, you're a lawyer, whatever the case may be, trust me, you can always transition into tech. Okay. So now I like to say the next course starts immediately because July 4th seems like a very long time. I want to be able to help you with structuring the plan and guiding you. Okay, this is what you need to do. This is what you need to improve on. This is how your CV needs to look like. All of that. That is going to be a very exclusive session. I don't do that for everybody because trust me, my time is already planned for. But I want to see how we can help you get to your goal. Okay. So now the program that is starting July 4th, rather, 2026. The price is okay, wait, this is the wrong slide. Let me share this instead. Before people will drop off on the call, I'm used to explaining everything in dollars. I forgot that it's not the same. Okay, so sorry guys, 1 second. Let me just reshare. Before someone will tell me that treasure $250K, $250, where do you want me to see that? Okay. 1 second, everyone. Okay. Okay, let's do this. Sorry, guys, just bear with me. Okay, let me reshare my screen now. Okay, so now the cohort that starts July 4th, the original amount is 250,000 naira because I put that in dollars and I'm like, I'm gonna scale everyone from this call. Okay, please, if you are Kenyan, Tanzanian, because I know people from other African countries are here. I'm going to explain the conversion in your own currency. This amount is 250K, but then we're currently running a discount. The discount, there's a 40% discount on this. So instead of you paying 250K, you can pay 150,000 naira discounted price. But that's not even the best part. You can also get started with 50,000 today. Okay, so instead of you paying 250K, you can even pay as low as 120,000 naira to get into this program. But these are only for those that are able to register today. Okay, so this discount is for the first 20 individuals that are able to register. But I personally have a special benefit if you're able to register this night. And I'm going to take just a limited amount of people. Okay, so let's get into it. So if you're able to make payments, you can start making payments. My colleagues will drop the information on the chat. But before you go, before you say, oh, I don't have the money right now, I can't do it today, let me show you something very amazing. If you know that you are very much interested in getting that salary, to be able to get that USD salary specifically, I have this benefit for you. For individuals that are able to register today, be for the first 5 people that are able to register today. I'm going to be having an exclusive remote job strategy session with you. And this is going to entail me building you a career plan. Like, I would listen to your conversation. Oh, this is the job I've been working with. This is what I've been trying to get. I don't know how to go about it. My LinkedIn, my CV. We're going to have all that conversation, okay? Then I'm going to build a step-by-step plan that fits you as a person, and also show you the different job roles that are to get, how you can reach out to this how you can reach out to founders, decision makers, startup companies. What do you need to say to them when they respond? How do you go into the meeting with them? How do you send cold emails? I'm going to have that conversation with you through and through. But like I mentioned, this is only for the first 5 people that are able to register this evening. If you miss out on this registration, you can always go ahead to register later on before July 4th. But if you are very, very serious of seeing how you are able to get those foreign roles, okay, and you want me to guide you on this pathway, I can. But this is just for 5 people that decide to go ahead to register. If you've registered, you can reach out to me directly on my line. I'll drop my WhatsApp number here. You just share me the you can share it to me, or you can also share it to my colleague that is dropping the information on the chat. Send me a WhatsApp message with your details, and then I can schedule a time between tomorrow and later next week for us to set up that plan end to end. But like I mentioned, this is only for 5 people. Lord knows I don't have time, but I'm going to make the time to, pass on that knowledge to you guys. Okay. But this is going to be for the first 5 people. And if you're wondering, how do I register? Okay. My colleague has dropped this link in the chat. So all you need to do is go on the page. Like I mentioned, we have AI for business analysis and project management, AI social media, AI automation engineering, AI for HR, AI for data, software, whatever. If you're still not sure, you're confused, oh, which program actually suits me, you can either raise your hand now, you can put a question in the chat, give me a background of what you currently do, or you raise your hand and then we have a conversation. So now, what are the different courses we have? Business analysis, I mentioned all of them. So how do you go about enrolling? You click on enroll now. Okay, you can either decide to sign in or you can sign up with Google. I already have an account, so I'm just go ahead to sign in, and then I click on sign in and continue. So once I get here, I'm going to wait for that to it's going to take you to this page. So now you can now choose your payment plan. So you can choose to either join July or August cohort, because June cohort has already started. So you can join July or August. The good thing is you can register now and not even start now. You're starting in July, you're starting in August, okay? But if you decide that you want to register, if you decide you want to register in July itself, the price goes back to 50K. So what do you need to do? Instead of you paying 250K in July or in August, you can make a full payment, 120. That is over 50% off. Or you can decide to split your payment into 3 parts. But if you want to even secure your slot, even with this 50K, I'm going to take your information and we're going to start building. I'm not going to say because you did not make full payments, I'm not going to help you out. But I only have the bandwidth for 5 people. I can't do more than 5 people. You can pay 50K installment 3 times. Okay, so 50K 3 times. So if you're not paying 120K, you're paying 50K. But if you are not Nigerian, you are Kenyan, Ghanaian, you can always convert the currency to the different amounts, and it shows you the amounts that you're going to be going with. So I'm going to choose my cohort, because you need to choose a cohort before it turns to this color. And then I go ahead to make my payment. But I want to do this in Naira. So once I click on Naira, click on start with 50,000 Naira. This is all you need to be able to have this conversation with myself. I'm going to have to wait for this to load up. It will provide me with a bank detail, provide me with the amount, and then provide me on how to make payments. I go ahead to make the payments, and I'm registered, okay? But this is just for 5 people. Once the 5 people are complete, I can't deal with any other request. Okay, bear with me, but that is literally the bandwidth that I have. Okay, so for individuals on the call, if you're interested, please just make the payment. You can send me the receipt directly. You can send it to Deborah as well. But that would be a way for me to know that you've registered for the program, and then we're getting on conversation. Okay, but that being said, you literally cannot be comfortable where you are. Somebody on the chat said something right. It can always be better. Even myself, I still feel like there's so much more I can be earning, and I'm constantly improving. I'm constantly getting into courses, paying so that I can be in rooms to speak with top individuals that can take me further. It is never enough. Okay. So now, if you want to be able to get that transition, Chisom said when we pay 50K today, it's an installment payment, 3 installments. Let me go back. Maybe you didn't see that. So it's 3 installments. It means network tripped off for a bit. But yeah, Chisom, I hope I was able to respond to your question. And for every other person that might have a question on the call, you can raise your hand now and I can also take your question. So if you can hear me loud and clear, you can just go ahead to give me a thumbs up so that I know that you're still here. If you have a question, please raise your hand. So I'm just going to go ahead to enable individuals to unmute their mic. So 1 second so that everyone can, okay, yeah, ask your question. If you have a question, you can either put it in the chat or you can raise your hand. Okay, so Jane, please go ahead. You can go ahead with your question.
Hi, good evening. Thanks for this opportunity. Please, the
You're
payment part, I
welcome.
didn't get that aspect. I think the network was tripping off, so I didn't really understand. Are we paying, if you want to pay the 50,000 now, are we still paying more after, or does 50,000 covers everything? I want
Okay,
to really
so
understand that aspect.
yeah, so like I was saying, the 50,000 is an installment plan. You have the option to pay in 3 installments. So the 50K is not everything. You have the 50K in 3 places to sum up to 150,000. So instead of you waiting to say, oh, because of my finances, I'm not able to make payments. I'll be able to do that on a 3 installment plan, okay? Because I'm a salary earner of whatever reason for whatever reason that's happening. So you have the option to pay 50K 3 times. That's the installment plan. But the 50K does not cover everything. But the 50K makes you eligible for the one-on-one conversation. It makes you eligible to start July 4th and so on and so forth. Does that answer your question, Jane? Hi, Jane. Okay, all right, great. Jane, I'm really looking forward to have a conversation with you. Yemi, you're giving me a thumbs up. Does any other person have any question? And pardon me if you dropped your question in the chat and then I didn't respond. It was because of my network, but I think I am back now. So Oluwa Bukumi raised his hand or her hand, sorry. Okay, I think my network is coming up now. Okay, great. So 1 second, everyone. Oluwabukumi, please go on. Please confirm you can hear me and it's not glitching
Okay.
anymore.
Yeah, I can hear
All right,
you.
great. Yeah, please go on.
All right. Thanks for the um our presentation. Basically, I just concluded the business analysis, AI business analysis, and project management training with you guys last month. Basically, then we did the capstone this month and all. And I wanted to go for the AI automation for next month. I know I can do like the all payment for 120 at this time. And also, I
Mhm.
wanted to ask, like, is there like a discount for probably you guys, previous alumni, people that have taken courses from your platform before?
Yes, absolutely. There is Uche, correct me if I'm wrong, if it's 5% or 10%. Uche Chuku, I don't know if you're there. How much are we giving for alumnus? Hi, Uche. But yeah, there's a discount.
Hi, Treasure. Please go on with your question again.
She was asking if there's an extra discount for alumnus. I don't remember the specific, whether 5 or 10% for people that have taken our program before and want to take it again.
Okay, yeah, she should reach out to Deborah and then we'll handle that with her.
Okay, yes. But yeah, Oluwabukumi, to answer your question, there is a discount. So just reach out to Deborah or you can reach out to me directly. I can just give you the information once I have it in hand, okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But if you're looking to register this evening, please just reach out to me as soon as possible. I see 2 people have made payments. That means I just have 3 slots left. Please send me your receipts. It just makes it easier for me to navigate, but I can see that on the dashboard. So I just need 3 more people to make payments and then I call it a night. I've basically almost lost my voice here. But if you have any questions, please put them in the chat or you can ask me. Chisom, she said, is the classes going to be recorded? Yes, all the classes are recorded and you'd have lifetime access to this recording. Okay. Chisom, how long is the program? Like how many months? It is for 2 months, that is 8 weeks. So it is made that your live class would be on Saturdays and on Sundays, you get to watch the LMS. So for 8 weeks, we're going to be working with you. Adding your location to my CV isn't okay. It is okay if you're looking for Nigerian, African type of roles, but when it comes to like on a foreign basis, there might be a bias even before you're even able to get into the room, get into interviews and so on and so forth. So it can also be a major blocker. So you don't want the recruiters to look at your profile and the next thing they see is, oh, this person is Nigerian and it's just a turner for them. So it is just better to just keep it off. That's the best way. And then when you get into the interview and they ask you questions, you're able to provide your location. I'm not saying lie, but then, sometimes what they don't know wouldn't kill them. So when they get to a point where they need that information, then you can respond. Okay. Joanne, does that answer your question? There is a technical glitch to execute payments using the K line. What technical glitch now? Okay, you can reach out to me direct or reach out to Deborah so she can help you sort out or which. So please just reach out to Deborah directly and she'll help you sort it out. Charles, your mic is unmuted. Do you have a question? Charles Daniel. Hello, Charles. Okay, I don't think he's here, so I'm going to go out to mute. Yeah, Jane, thank you so much. Please, you should go ahead to register. I really want to help as many people as I can, and I'm only limited by the criteria of your registration. So, okay, and that payment just came in. That's 3. So I just need 2 more people to register. I'm calling it a night. So if you're having any issues making payments for whatever reason, please reach out to Deborah, reach out to me directly so that I can take note of you and there's a consensus, and not you would not reach out to me later and I tell you that all the spots are filled. So if you want to make payments, I'm just going to reiterate because I feel like my network was glitchy at some point. So apologies for that. Okay, so choose your cohorts, choose your payments plan, and then you go ahead to choose your cohorts. He mentioned there's a problem with Kenyan currency conversion. So I really don't know what that might be about. So you pay and it redirects you to make payments. But please just reach out to Deborah and she would be able to guide you on that because I don't know specifically what issues you're having. And I would want to be able to support you on that level. So you just enter your mobile number. I don't know how that would work, but so that someone can guide you on the process. Okay. So, does any other person have any question? It might not even be about payments. It could even be like on your career itself, and you need a proper understanding of what you need to be doing, how we can help you, whatever the question, no silly question. If you regard your career and how to improve on your career with AI, I'm 100% available. Put your question on the chat and then I would be able to respond. If you are too shy to do that here, you can send me a message. But then for those that want that exclusive mentorship to be able to create that career plan, please just lock in your slots. Like I mentioned, you can do that with 50K minimum. Okay. You can also do that with, the full payments as well. So you can have everything sorted. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a run through of everybody that I can currently still see on the call. I'll call you one-on-one, and then, if there's any questions, you can ask me. If you're all clear for the night, you can also let me know. Okay. So just humor me here. Adebimpe, I can still see you on the call. Do you have any questions? Do you have anything you want me to clarify? Hi, Adebimpe. Are you still here? Adebimpe, are you on the call? I mean, you could have left your devices and gone to bed. Okay, you're fine. All right. So Ademimpe, it would be very nice if you could register so that you would be able to access this. Ajayi, do you have any questions? Anything you want to clarify before we wrap up today's session? Okay, someone's hand is raised. Keziah, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Joel, please go on.
Yeah, thank you so much for the opportunity and the presentation. I just want to inquire also the link for booking a one-on-one session. Once I click, it's not able to show the page to proceed with the execution. It just indicates page not found.
You mean with the payment, right?
Not the payment. The payment is being handled, but the one for booking a one-on-one session for clarity.
So, you mean clarity session?
Yeah.
It's not giving you the link. Uche, Debbie, please, can you just send the Calendly link for clarity? Well, if you want to have a one-on-one, if you want to have a one-on-one session with me specifically, my number is on the chat. You can just send me a message on WhatsApp. So once you do that, I'll be able to respond to any question. I put my number and I'm still going to redo that again for anyone that is not able to, you want a one-on-one clarity. You can just reach out to me on WhatsApp as well. Okay. Thank you, Keziah.
All right.
Do you have any other question?
No. That's all. Thank you. Over to you.
All right. Thank you. Okay. So Ajayi, are you on the call? Do you have any question?
I'm on the call. I have question, but I don't know how to structure it. When I've chatted you on WhatsApp, when I'm relaxed, I will know how to put down my question. But currently now, I don't know how to put it down.
All right. No worries. Thank you, Ajayi. That's fine. Okay. So Ajayi, as you're structuring your question, please just go ahead to register. It's very, very important that you also get that sorted out. Okay. So Charles Daniel. Oh, Keziah, your hands are raised again. Is that for me?
Apology. That's an old hand. Apologies. I'll drop it over to you.
Okay. Chidera, I also saw that your mic was unmuted for a second. Do you have a question? Hi, Chidera, are you there?
No, no, I don't have a question. Good evening.
Okay. All right. Good evening. No worries. Thank you, Chidera. Hi, Charles. Charles Daniel, are you on the call? Okay, I'm just gonna go over to the next person. Hi, Gerald. Can you hear me? Are you still on the call? Hi, Gerald. Are you on the call? Okay, no response. Hi, Ibro. Ibro. Hi, Ibro. Are you on the call? If you're on the call, you can just let me know. Please, if you have any questions, just raise your hand. It makes this a whole lot faster. Josephine, Joseph, are you on the call? Hi, Mustafa. Can you hear me? It looks like a lot of people have slept though. Rahab, are you still on the call? Rahab, are you on the call? Tony, are you on the call? Vanessa, Yemi, are you on the call? Okay. So apparently I still have 2 slots left, and it seems like no other person has any question. I know Keziah or someone else was having issues with making payment. Let me just, or Deborah would have taken note of it. I know Kenyan payment so that we can get that sorted out. So that technically leaves me with a slot. Yeah. So if you're interested in me giving you that support, based off everything that I've mentioned, you can reach out to me directly. But then, like I said, your receipt of payment would help fast track that, because that is the criteria I am bounded by to be able to help you with the full-on career plan. We can work together on your job strategy, how to go about it, and then we can proceed on that level. Okay. But if there are no further questions, if there are any other questions, good. If not, great. If you're able to lock in your slot between now and 12 a.m., latest tomorrow, 12 a.m. tomorrow. Yeah, that would be like the deadline for those that are interested in this particular benefit. But if not, you still want to be able to join our early bird session, you have between now and Tuesday to be able to register for our early bird session starting on Thursday. Okay, so if you're not able to join this and you also want to join the early bird session, you're going to be able to benefit. But if you want me to assist you specifically on building your own career pathway, you need to register now, between now and latest 12 a.m. And then you're good to go. If not, you still have the benefit of doing that. But technically, I have 2 slots left for this. So reach out to me, send me a message, send me your receipt. For those that made payments, I can only see it on the account. On the back end. Okay. So if you've made payments, send me your receipt, or you send it directly to Deborah, and we can get started on this process. Okay. That being said, thank you so much, everyone, for joining in this evening. It was a pleasure speaking to you all. If you do have questions, you can always reach out to me. That being said, thank you, everyone. I think we can call it a night here. And someone without a laptop starts. It depends on the particular program that you're going for. If you're going for content creation, yes, you can start without a laptop, but you do need a laptop for any of the program. Worst case scenario, you need a tablet, to be able to go through the program. So if you are looking at AI automation, AI data analytics, the particular AI tools we are making use of, you can't find that on your phone. You need your laptop to work with it. If that answers your question, Jane, you can give me a thumbs up. Okay. All right. Thank you so much. So, any questions? Final time. Are there any other questions? All right. In the absence of any other questions, I'm going to call it an evening. Thank you so much for joining in, and please have an amazing rest of your day, evening, morning, wherever you're joining me from. Okay. Thank you, everyone. You can also share this opportunity with your friends and family that you think would be a benefit. It's a very great honor to speak to you all. Okay. Thank you, everyone. And please enjoy the rest of your evening. Okay. Cheers and bye, everyone. Have a good one. Cheers, guys.